you want your copy to be so good that somebody could just leave within a second or a couple seconds, but they should leave knowing the punchline of what they're looking at. We're saying, meet the Nori press, ironing made easy. We're making it extremely easy for somebody to quickly relate to what the product is and why they might be using it. The second biggest element is social proof, right? So that's a combination of customer reviews, established sources, whether that's press outlets or bloggers or influencers. And then the third one is user-generated content. So putting out user-generated content and implementing it within your landing pages is a huge thing, especially when you're targeting different demographics. On the established sources part too, depending on who you're advertising to, if you're advertising to an older demographic, you gotta remember that the established sources that are perceived to be established are different depending on who you're advertising to. The third one is the 5 questions, right? So what is the product? Why does it exist? How does it benefit my life? Why is this the best option to get it? And how fast can I get it? And those questions you're just constantly answering over and over and over again. Then you have the shop section where you want to reiterate the benefits. You want to make sure that it's obvious to somebody that they're not going to make a silly purchase. You have the how it works and the what's inside, which also contributes to, this is not a stupid purchase, we promise you. You have the brand story, which always just helps build that, relationship with a customer. And then you have your pixels and scripts, which I'll get into in a second. So, some easy site CRO wins. All right, let's get into it. The first one is a slide-out cart. If you're not using a slide-out cart, you're just leaving money on the table. Adding another page for somebody to get to in order to look at their cart is just a waste of a click. It's a waste of somebody else's time. And you can't do things this easily where you have upsells into subscription or cross-sells of other categories. You'll notice too, with a slide-out cart that's empty, you can also immediately start selling, right? So if somebody clicks there and they don't have anything, you can make it easy for them to start buying. And you can also gamify the slide-out cart, whether it's towards free shipping, whether it's towards gifts with purchase, etc. The second one is PDP elements. So most people, when they build a shopping page or a PDP, it starts out with the image right at the top. The product text or the product name is usually kind of boring. You got a few images, and then specifications or specs, and then it's pretty much just reviews, right? However, a good PDP always has extra elements. So whether it's adding reviews that are slide in, those might be permanently chosen based on what they address around the product. You might have something that's kind of fun and interactive, like on Long Weekend. If you hover over each ingredient, we tell you exactly what it does in plain English because these ingredients are not English. And then you have elements like this with a comparison chart where, again, you make it very easy for somebody to understand, right? This comparison chart kind of right away lets you understand what you get out of this product versus a competitive product. The third one is a navigation menu. We call this the mega nav. So most navigation menus are super standard and straightforward, but I like to think that every element or every pixel on your site is valuable real estate. And so how can you take advantage of the menu? Well, you make it really easy, right? You have your best sellers up top because that's where people want to go if they're just starting. You can have your bundle and save option. And then this is for a brand called Love Wellness. So then we focus on hitting categories based on sales. The categories with the most sales, they start higher on the menu and then it goes down. In this example with Long Weekend, we do something very similar. We start with products that we know get a new customer's attention right away, and then we slowly move them into bundles. We make it easy for anybody to click through and quickly start building a bundle, or just get to a product that they're looking at buying anyways. So let's talk about our tech stack. The tech stack is super simple. So we like to start with hooks for landing pages, but you could use basically you could use Figma to design them. You can use Unbounce to develop them. I personally like Unbounce because I'm like the one Indian in the world who doesn't know how to code, and Unbounce is all drag and drop. Landing page and site tracking. There's this little startup called Microsoft. They have a free tool called Microsoft Clarity. And with Microsoft Clarity, you can look at basically, basic analytics, how many people are coming, conversion rate, how many dead clicks, which is a big one. Dead clicks are things that people click and nothing happens. It's a good way to inform yourself of where things can be improved. But you also get heat map tracking, you get scroll depth tracking per user or per session, and you get user session recordings. So we use this a ton where we'll actually watch user sessions and then we'll go back and reiterate the page. You know, if somebody was hovering around a certain copy section and that's what got them to then convert, we know that that's something that's valuable and we can reiterate that maybe higher up in the page or on the ad itself. The third one is called Quantcast Measure. Has anybody here used Quantcast Measure? Awesome. All right, so Quantcast Measure, if you don't know about Quantcast, it's a big, you know, programmatic advertising company. But because they are a programmatic advertising company, they have their pixels on pretty much every publisher site that gets a ton of traffic because they serve the ads and the publishers make money. So it's a two-way street for them. With Quantcast Measure, they allow you to install a pixel on your site, and almost immediately you can look at demographic detail down to, you know, a micro level. So when we install Quantcast Measure on our sites, we can not only see, you know, gender and age and if they graduated college, but we can actually see what kind of car do they drive and what TV shows are they watching on Hulu and what do they listen to on Spotify and what diaper brand do they buy. You can see all this level of data. It's completely free, and it also allows you to then understand what kind of content or what sort of demographic you're advertising to on a specific page. Fourth one is called Rebuy. Rebuy is, if you remember all those examples of the cart, that's the app we use for the cart. It's Rebuy. It's super easy. You install it, and it's ready to go. For attribution, we use a platform called Northbeam, which basically takes a combination of URL-based UTMs, pixel data, as well as their own kind of machine learning to give you the best view of, you know, what platforms and what campaigns are driving real effective revenue. And then the last one is device testing. And so one is called Browser Ready, I believe, and the other one is called Litmus. Browser Ready lets you look at landing pages or sites across different devices, screen sizes, and Litmus does the same thing for emails.